So YouTube, figured I'd show you something different today. All my Xbox 360 games, they're not going to be in any particular order, but I'll show you everything that I have. So what we have here is a Gears of War, I guess exclusive Xbox 360. I got this like a while back, like a way while back. You can tell by just how old it is. I would say this is the reason why I got into Xbox is because of Gears of War itself. When they were doing a 360 edition, I had to snag it. This edition came with the Gears of War remotes. These are, you can see the controllers are nipped. I repaired. I bought this used, but I repaired it. All the buttons are stiff, sticks are stiff. It's just a rubber texture, and this has both controllers. It came with two. I think it should sell you on this side here. Yeah, so you get the two controllers, the headset. You get a limited edition Gears downloadable content there, like a little card, I guess you would say, and then you get a 320 gigabytes. Compared to back then, that's all what you would need at this era compared to terabyte now. But that's the system that I use. And this one, if you turn it on or open a disc tray, it does make different sound effects. It's not connected. I just took it out right now to show you guys. So let's get started with the games. We got Burnout Revenge, one of my favorite PS2 era games. And then this was a 360 launch title. Highly recommend Burnout Revenge if you love that series. I think it's one of the best racing games, arcade racing games. Jericho. It's a horror game. I think this is, what's his name? Oh yeah, Clive Barker's, my bad. Jericho. Pretty good horror game. It's kind of fun shooter, if I remember. It didn't sell very well. I don't think people liked it, but I really liked the art design they did in it. One of my favorite, probably the least popular Resident Evil, well, besides this thing 6. I think this is a really good co-op Resident Evil. This is Resident Evil 5. This is disc 1 and disc 2. I think Resident Evil 5 is a really good co-op game. Maybe not the best, because obviously number 4 is, in my opinion, slightly better, the original. But Resident Evil 5 will always have a special heart, a place in my heart, just because of the co-op. I had a lot of good memories doing a lot of co-op stuff. I want to say the 360 and PS3 era are the best co-op game eras, I would say. Shadow of the Damned. Yeah, most of these are going to become like Game Exchange or GameStop. There's that. Plus, I'm kind of glad that I'm showing you what I have, because then I can put it aside to see what I need, like a disc, or if I need the whole CIB, I guess you would say. Split Second. This is another arcadey racing game. Pretty underrated in my opinion, if you guys are curious. I would recommend Split Second for kind of like an arcade racing game. Kind of like Burnout, sort of. A little bit more destruction, I would say. Whoops. Drop that sucker down. One of the best third-person shooters here. Warhammer Space Marine. This is the first one. I think the new one came out for PS5 and Xbox Series X. This is the one before that. Space Marine 2 just came out maybe last year, but this is the other version. I think Captain Titus is still the same character you play as in the new one. 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. Don't have the actual box yet, but I do have a copy of 50 Cent. And you guys are wondering if you guys can find it, good luck. You probably can, but the value is pretty high for these, the 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. I want to say because you can't really play them anywhere else. I guess you can emulate it, which is probably better, in my opinion. Plus, you don't have to spend a lot of money. I just like collecting physical media. Anarchy Reigns. Sega game. This is kind of like, I think if I remember, it's a brawler type. Really, really cool soundtrack. I'd recommend checking it out. The OST on YouTube, for sure. Sadly, I think the Xbox 3 servers are down, so I wasn't able to get Bayonetta. Bayonetta was a DLC character that you could get, but sadly the 360 services are, I guess, not online anymore. You can't download anything or buy anything. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they would have kept it. Brothers in Arms. Hill's Highway. Really great game. I really like these old strategy, World War II era games. I'm a sucker for World War II stuff. I collect a lot of World War II memorabilia. In Brothers in Arms, I played the other one on the PS2, I think, at the end of its life cycle, and I've always had a huge heart. I remember playing the demo disc, I think it had Jack X and a King Kong demo, and that one was on there, the Brothers in Arms game. I just can't remember which one. Captain America, Super Soldier. This is kind of like a hack and slash, I would say, but you just play as Cap. Really cool. This one, it might be a little bit more in value as well, so good luck finding it. I'm sure you can. It's just, don't get it if you don't really plan on collecting stuff like this. I would just recommend downloading it or just emulate these things. Don't spend your money, guys. This is just me and my personal collection because I've been doing this for a while. Brutal Legends. I think Jack Black is the main character here, but I think this is another hack and slash, in my opinion. I think that's what you would classify the gameplay as, hack and slash. This is probably free or on Game Pass if you guys have that. But I don't have Game Pass because I don't really play a lot of games anymore. This is just old games that I've had for a while, I would say. Chronicles of Riddick. Assault on Dark Athena. Great. The original Xbox game as well. Supposedly this is a remake of the original. These games I have not played very much. I do own them, but I just don't really have time to play anymore. Kind of like because I've been getting into die casting and doing a lot of painting. So most of these games I have not played. I just have collected them for years. Stuntman Ignition. Best Buy exclusive. I doubt these codes work because they're pretty old and I bought them like at game stores. Thankfully, some of them are complete in box, so I don't have to go looking for the original cover or ordering the cases because you can still order cases and replace the sleeves. This is El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. Some games I just picked up because they were on sale or I found them in because see, they're still sealed. I do collect some games sealed. Looks like kind of like an RPG or hack and slash as well. Some of these I may have gotten at the maybe a Dollar General. They had them for like $5, so I snagged it. It's still sealed in the thing. Some of them I don't plan on opening. Earth Defense. Yeah, I guess this was our Helldivers at the time. Earth Defense Force. You just kill bugs and waves of aliens, I guess you would say, or bug. It's just killing a lot of species like this. This was our Helldivers at the time, I would say. Compared to what Helldivers is now, it's like that's the new thing. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. I'm sure you guys know what Dynasty Warriors is. This is just the Gundam version of that. I don't have the other one yet, but this is the one I have at the moment. Gundam mechs are really cool, so. Driver, San Francisco. I guess this was a GTA before, GTA became a thing. Really, really underrated game, in my opinion. I don't think this one sold well, and I think Ubisoft removed it from the Play Store if you have a Ubisoft account, so the only way you could play it is if you have a physical copy, and this one is pretty underrated, in my opinion. Probably one of the best driver games. Dirt Showdown. You guys know I love rally, so I do own a bit of the Dirt series, even though this wasn't really rally style. That was more like an arcade racing. Here's Dirt 2. This was a Ken Block. Is on the cover here. Well, this car, the Fiesta. I think that's what this is. Oh, it's a Subaru, my bad. The Subi. Rest in peace, Ken Block. But I do own some of the Dirt series games. Ooh. Deadly Premonition. Another game that you can't really download anymore. I think you could only get that at the time, but I have the hard copy here. You could probably still find the hard copy, but I got the physical copy here. Let me open this. I think it's complete in box as well. Yep. Pretty clean. I think the guy I got it from, I wish he didn't open it, but he opened it. Didn't even play it. I did test it, so it did work, but I haven't played it either. But I think this is a game that's going high in value. If I remember. I don't know now, but it was going up there for sure. Remember Me, Capcom. Some of these, like I said, I won't know. I kind of just snagged them because they were on deals, and I'm trying to build my library of media like this. Because in my opinion, 360 and PS3 era are the best gaming eras. Those two are my favorite generation eras of this systems, especially the PSP. That whole era, I would say, was the best. Even though the PSP was on the PS2 era. Singularity, I still would consider that one of the best handhelds around this time. If I remember, people say Singularity is kind of like Half-Life. It's kind of like a clone. Activision, I think, just published it. I don't think they made it. Oh, Raven, really good development company. I think they also did Darkness, if I remember. The Darkness. Skate. Obviously one of the best skateboarding series besides, Tony Hawk. I'd recommend Skate. I think that new one's coming out soon, but if you like skateboarding, recommend Skate. Ooh, haven't played this, but I'm glad I own it. Splatterhouse. This is another game that's going up high in value. I would recommend if you guys are looking at them, just go to YouTube and look them up. Put them in search bar, like maybe a walkthrough or something like that. Sadly, not complete in box, but these games do work. I tested them all. That's one thing I'm grateful that I do know that they do work. Sadly, the 360 games they don't last very long because we didn't get Blu-ray till Xbox One. PS3 did better with their gaming protection. Splinter Cell Blacklist. I think this was one of the last Splinter Cells at the time. And this one is pretty underrated in my opinion. People shit on it, but I think this game was pretty impressive. And I have it CIB here and everything. Hugely underrated in my opinion. If you guys like Splinter Cell, I'm a huge Splinter Cell fan. Speaking of Splinter Cell, one of my favorite. Probably a lot of people didn't like it, but Conviction was one of my favorite Splinter Cell. This might have been one of my first games, if I remember, when my mom bought us. We had an Elite 360 at first. We had this game. We bought it at a movie store that was running out of business. So it's funny we had games, we just didn't have the system yet. But this is one of my favorite Splinter Cell games. I remember doing a lot of co-op too. There's a co-op, I think, campaign or mission mode. Speaking of, there's a two. It was really fun. I remember me and my friend hours and hours just trying to beat all the objectives and get all the achievements. Of course, we got some fighting games. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. This is probably not one of the best fighting games. It did have a lot of issues. Same for PS3. I think the Vita version is probably the best crossover game out of the two. I guess out of the three. The PS Vita had one, the PS3, and then 360. But I think, if I remember, the Vita is probably the best version of the Street Fighter Cross Tekken games. Oh, The Bourne Conspiracy. Really great game. I was actually shocked of how good this game is. I highly recommend it. High Moon Studios did make it. This is when they were like peak gameplay. I think they also made the Transformer games, but recommend The Bourne Conspiracy. It's also on PS3 if I remember. The comment in that is pretty impressive too. So, speaking of, might as well show you both. Here's the Darkness games. Really fun series as well. These might be on Game Pass. I'm sure they are. I think Raven also did these. If I remember that, I thought they did. Maybe not. I thought the Raven company did do this, to be honest. Maybe I just misremembered something else. But great series. Recommend The Darkness. Both. I think both are still great. Even the graphics are pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie, for this era. I think those games are also on PS3, hopefully. I think it's called Nier. Don't think I played it, but Square Enix, Really cool. It's really clean too for what I got here. I think it is. Yep, it's complete. CIB. CIB just means complete in box. Oh, yes. I got me Bayonetta. I think this is a Nintendo game now. I think they bought the Bayonetta rights, so we can't play it. Well, we can play this one, and I think it's on Game Pass, but I don't think you can't really own the newer Bayonettas without, Nintendo making them, or unless if they're nice enough to share the IP, maybe, you would say, I guess, if you wanted to play it on the other systems. Really cool, great game, hack and slash, recommend. Obviously, Bayonetta is well known because, I guess, Gooners, but I just really like the art design and Sega in general and their music. I think that's why I appreciate Sega games. Indianapolis 500 Evolution. Just a racing game. That is really cool. I like these old school Formula 1 games, and it looked pretty interesting. That's why I snagged it. Don't know if this is worth anything, but, I know some are, some aren't. Some of them aren't even good, and they're just worth something because they're just kind of hard to find, Oh, one of my favorite cheesy games here, Jurassic the Hunted. It's kind of like Turok, I would say. But it's pretty interesting. It's kind of fun. I remember enjoying it. If I remember, this has a Call of Duty Zombies mode, but instead of zombies, it's dinosaurs. Which I think this would have been successful with that if it was multiplayer. But I think it's only an offline feature or a single player thing with the survival mode. If they did a multiplayer version with that dinosaur mode, guarantee this would have been well more known because the dinosaurs are really well drawn in the game. They're really cool. If they did that, because it is the only player one, if they did multiplayer with that the survival dinosaur mode, this game would have been pretty popular. I guarantee that would have been popping up more. I don't think this is called Samurai 3. I don't remember where I got this from. It was, I think, on sale at the time. I think this game is pretty high in value as well. Sadly, it's not the original casing. I just have it protected here because I don't want to, break it or lose it. So it's in that cheapy, the printed one that guess the companies do or the game stores. Speaking of Vin Diesel, Wheelman. Really cheesy game too. I think this came out the launch era of the Xbox life cycle. Same for PS3. Obviously, Vin Diesel was pretty big at the time. I think this is when he was getting all over Hollywood compared to what he is now in like the Fast series. Ooh, one of my favorite. I would consider this genre a bullet time, kind of like Max Payne. Wet. Bethesda, I think, published it. If you guys like bullet time games like Max Payne, highly recommend this. This has got a cool Kill Bill style. I've had this game for a long time, so you can tell the old marker there. Back in the movie studios, you used to mark stuff like this to know that it's theirs or something, but thankfully I have a CIB. Really fun game. I really like this game. I think this game is going up in value as well, but love the wet game. I wish they would remake that or make it like a port, or at least put it on the Game Pass. If it is, I don't know, but one of my favorite bullet time games. Speaking of bullet time, kinda time shift. If I remember, you can like stop time. This was another early game we had. My brother would play this more than I did, but it was really cool. The concept. I remember you can slow down time. It's like a suit. I think the suit had abilities, if I remember. It's still cool. Obviously, pretty popular. I think this is on Game Pass. Mirror's Edge. Still haven't played the Mirror's Edge series. I know all about it because one of my best friends, he loves the series, obviously, because he likes Asian women too. So I've yet to play it. I'm glad I own it. So when I do want to play it, I will play it. And you're probably wondering why not just play it on Game Pass. To me, for Game Passing, sometimes on the newer systems, they don't really register well on the controllers. Maybe there's like a delay, and then why not play it on the original console when you do have no weapon delay and you can just instantly react with the button? Because sometimes the newer emulated ones, or when you're streaming it off the Game Pass, there's like a delay on the inputs. I guess I would say input delay. But Killer 7, Exceed Games. I think Exceed does kind of like these anime-ish games. Like I said, some of these I don't know where I like the full developers. I just thought I really like this comic-y art style. Haven't played it. I know it works. This looks definitely like some kind of Gooners, I guess, anime weebish type of player game. I just got it because the 360 was coming at a end cycle at the time, so I got a whole bunch of stuff before it finally gave out. You can't really buy games off the marketplace on, even if you hack it up manually, you still can't get stuff. Even if you have an Xbox account, which is stupid. But Samurai Showdown, if I remember, this is a fighting game. Well, SNK, play more. Exceed, another, same company. Really cool. Reminds me of 13, the art design. So, I know this is definitely a fighting game. I do know that for sure. Ooh, one of the best zombie games, Dead Rising. I remember my friend when I didn't even know that 360 was a console yet. I went to his house. This is one of the games he played, and Dead Rising was really cool. I really wish they just remastered it to the new one, because the new one, I think, is the reboot, quote unquote, is slightly different. It's not even close to the original. I think Dead Rising, this one, the original, same for PS3 version, are the best Dead Rising game. That's why I still have my copy. I'm never gonna sell it because I think that Dead Rising will never be beat. Oh, Dark Sector. If I remember, I think Warframe is the same universe. I think Warframe is free. But this is part of that. This is a before Warframe, if I remember. Really, really underrated game. I think this game is kind of not too expensive, but it is up there. In value, I would say. But if I think this is part of the Warframe canon, if I remember. I've never played Warframe. I think they just have the same lore. Ooh, really great game here. The Godfather, the game. I love this game back on the PS2. I think this was also an Xbox launch game. I still have the PS3, PS2, and the Xbox, the original Xbox copies. But I wanted to get the 360 version because, just like slightly better. And of course, with the HDMI ports that the newer system, got instead of the AVG cables have. Obviously, this was like slightly better, sharper. Then we got Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom. Pretty cool. If I remember, this is like an RPG, hack and slash. Because you can also change, like 6 heroes. You can change the characters and level them up, if I remember. CAB. Yeah, sorry if I don't open them. Some of them I can tell because they're like really light. So they're not complete, sadly. Body count. If I remember, I think one of the games. Black. I think it was called Black. It was on PS2 and the original Xbox. This is by the same people, but it's not as good as Black on the original PS2 and Xbox series. But this was kind of like a homage to it. I think it's the same people who made the Black game, the series. But don't think it's as well as the original Black. But this is part of that same, I guess, universe, quote unquote. It's the same people, I want to say. Oh, Alone in the Dark. I think this game is getting pretty popular compared when I don't think it sold well and wasn't as popular when it first came out. If I remember, the guy who voiced Max Payne, he's the main voice actor of this game as well. This guy too. See, I think this is like the soundtrack or something. I think so. But rest in peace, the guy who I can't remember the guy's name. It really sucks because Max Payne series is one of my favorite Rockstar series, but he is the main voice actor in this game. That's the reason I got it, to be honest, because I like that voice actor very much. Flat Out Ultimate Carnage, one of the best demolition, like derby games in my opinion. Highly, highly recommend this game. I think this is the last great. Oh, they're speaking of Bugbear Entertainment. I think they're doing the Wreckfest games now, but this is, I think, the last good Bugbear game, I would say. Really, really underrated. It was not underrated, but highly recommend playing it if you guys like destruction racing like that. Definitely give it a try. That one may cost a little bit, to be honest. Ooh, haven't played it, but I do plan on someday. This is Spec Ops: The Line, probably one of the best. I think people always talk about how, I guess the story is what people say it's like the best. I want to get like immersed one day and really get into this series. I know it's good. I know all about it. Because these games have been out for a while. I know everything about. I don't really. This is not the premium edition. I just have the case. It didn't come with the thing, sadly, so I don't have all the, I guess, DLCs or whatever. But I don't think you need the DLCs to, enjoy this game. But I know this for a fact. This game is really, really popular. I hear people want them to remake that, or at least, make it on the where you could buy it on the pass or something. I do have the Fable Anniversary. Recommend playing this on the Xbox Series X with the backwards compatibility because of the better frames, That's what I would say. That's the reason I have. Oh, that's one reason why I have physical copies, because on the Xbox Series S/X, sometimes you can't really buy them digitally, and sometimes you can, but they'll be. So if you have to have a physical copy in order to play them, I don't know if this one's on the Game Pass right now, but at the time I don't think it was. So you had to have a physical copy, which either way, I still wanted to get a copy of Fable, the original, because they were a great series. I know they are rebooting it, I think, or remaking it, but I still would probably still prefer the original Fable games. That's one game I did remember enjoying. Ooh, Enslaved. I haven't played it. And you're probably wondering why not. I know it's good, but look, it's still sealed, sadly, so I will probably have to find another copy, or I think this is on the game store if I remember. I'll have to check, but I do have quite a bit of still sealed in the wrapping 360 games. I have quite a bit if I remember. But I know that one's good. Oh, obviously. This doesn't really count because you can also play them on the PS3. But my favorite two Fallout games, Fallout 3 and New Vegas. If I had to pick, I don't know. I really liked both of them equally. I think both Fallout 3 and 4, or New Vegas, on my bad, are really great Fallout games. I can never pick one over the other because these two would always have a special place. I think they were both great. I know people prefer New Vegas, and it is good. I'm not saying it's bad. Just I like both. They're fair. They're both well balanced for me, in my opinion. It's another one. Front Missions Evolved. This one's still sealed as well. I think I picked these up for probably like $4. Because if you ever go to old Dollar Generals, there's a lot of games maybe in the back of the shelf or like by their DVD section. You can find PS3 and 360 games recommended for older Dollar Generals. You can find still sealed games like this. If you're a collector like me and my wife when it comes to physical media, I would say. Or if you're just a collector in general. Obviously, Gears of War 3 from this bundle. I would say the last good trilogy of Gears of War, the original trilogy, was really good. That and Judgment. I didn't hate Judgment. I think Judgment was a pretty good game still. So maybe the first four. I think they only had slightly minor problems that they did with Judgment, but it wasn't a bad game. Golden Axe, Beast Rider. I think this was another game that didn't sell well, but I did have to get a physical copy, because you never know when they might remove it from this. I guess like the store, which you can't. Well, the thing is, you can't buy anything off the store anymore. That's what sucks. Bullet Witch. I think I picked this up for a pretty decent price. I think this is going up there. More Gooner bait, I would say. Yeah, I want to say the PS3 era and the 360, or like all Gooner area before what it is now. I haven't played this. I haven't played it, but I do own it. I think this is a pretty pricey game now too. I don't think it's good, but I just hear it's something you should. I guess if you're a collector, I would recommend it. I guess you would say. Ooh, Bloodstone, 007, really underrated 00 game. I'm not gonna lie. I think even the driving mechanics, an actual, well, bizarre creations. I think they do some decent racing games. The driving mechanic in this game is really impressive. This is a pretty good 007 game. If you guys like 007, recommend Bloodstone. It's actually not that bad. One of the worst I know games is very buggy. Shell Shock 2, Blood Trails. I know this game has a lot of bugs, but like I said, I do like collecting physical media. I don't think this is complete. Yeah, it's pretty empty, but it does work. I know that. I know there is another Shell Shock on the original systems, but that one I know it's pretty messy. Dead to Rights, Retribution. I haven't played the Dead to Rights series, but I do own them all. I do plan on maybe one day playing every single one. Was it canon in order? I don't know if it's all canon together, but I'm sure it is. Really cool series. I thought the series were pretty interesting. I just never had time to play them, like I said. Ghostbusters. It's just Ghostbusters. Pretty fun multiplayer game, if I remember. I think there's actually a newer gen, so maybe get that copy instead of this. Because I was thinking about actually trading this in for like points or like credits, maybe. Vanquish. If I remember, it's got like a Gears of War style cover system. If I remember, I can't remember. But Sega made it, obviously. It looks really amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks pretty. Obviously, if you don't like Sega games, I still recommend checking out the music. Because Sega, I'm not gonna lie, kills it with soundtracks. I think they do a great job with music. Oh, of course. Metal Gear Rising. Konami. Really, really popular, especially with the memes alone. This game is pretty underrated. I don't think it's sold well either, but I think now it's really, really popular. Good luck finding a physical copy as well. I think this game is actually going in value as well. I think, I'm not for sure. Oh, one of the best Mortal Kombat fighting games in my opinion. Me and my wife love Mortal Kombat. This one, I can't remember which. I think it's 9 maybe. Or nah, I don't think it's 9, but this is one of the best Mortal Kombat. We actually have 3 ports. We have this one, PS3, and the Vita. We have all 3 ports of this game because I think this game is one of the best Mortal Kombat games. I think it had the best control. The one after that also had the best control. They didn't look good, but they still had the best gameplay. I would say, like buttons. There was like no delay. You could do a lot of cool combos. I think that were the last two, in my opinion, last great Mortal Kombat games. NBA Jam. I have the physical copy here. I think you could download it. If you have it downloaded, you're still in luck. But this is a physical version of that, the old school NBA Jam. You know, we can like slam dunk and the whole thing explodes, type of thing, or shatters. Oh well, Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden. I got both of them here. The RCIB. I think they are. Yep. Haven't played this series, but I do own them all. I do plan on one day, like I said, playing them all like in order by the lore. I do know about it though, so that's one thing. Naughty Bear. I think this was also kind of like the launch style. This is kind of like what do you call that series? It's kind of like a horror game. You would kill the survivors type of thing, but your main objective is just to murder your buddy bears and hide. Kind of like I can't remember that horror survival game. It's like multiplayer, but this was before that. I want to say, but yeah, Naughty Bear. I remember I wanted to play that one too. I was and she had Football 14. I had this for a while because it was going up in value. I still have it. I do probably plan on trading it in or saving it because I do save some sports games because when people come over and they want to play something else, I have a lot of different genres. You know. Oh, one of the best racing games in my opinion. Need for Speed Most Wanted. I mean, everyone I think loves this era of Need for Speed, like this Carbon, Pro Street. I would say probably the golden age of Need for Speed, like Underground 1 and 2. I think I have the CIB. Yep, there it is. Sadly, I don't have the original cover. I'm not really a fan of this 360 era Platinum Hits, covers like this. I'd rather have the original with the whole BMW or the Most Wanted covering the whole thing. This was like the greatest hits, I guess, cover at the time. Obviously, not a great game. Okay, but I do like the original Perfect Dark. But without this, I wouldn't have got the Xbox either because I do love the original Perfect Dark. It's one of my favorite, I guess, older series games. I think Joanna Dark was the character's name. And it's got like a cyberpunky, style, I guess the lore, And then that's like the RoboCop gun. I think it's called Mag 60. Oh, MagSec, there you go. But you could do the modes like in the RoboCop movie. It's got the different alternative firing modes. Ooh, great game here. I don't think I need to explain anything here because I'm sure you guys played this. Really, really great game. If I remember, if you guys like to hunt achievements, I think every achievement you get like 100 or 1,000 gamer score. If you guys are all about that, I'm not really about that anymore. 360 era and PS3 era, I did care about trophies and achievements, but not really anymore. But still a great game. Recommend it. Especially the soundtrack. Damn, it's amazing. Ooh. Prey. This is the older Prey, not the reboot. This is pretty much, how would I say it? It's kind of like Doom and Half-Life put together. Really, really great game. Very underrated in my opinion. People don't talk about the Prey series. Not this one. They talk about the other one, the kind of like it's not really, don't think the same, but it is the same title because I think, I can't remember who bought them out. I think Bethesda bought out this series, but recommend this one. I think it is also on PS3 if you guys have it. Highly recommend the Prey game. If you guys like Half-Life and Doom put together, boom. Or Duke Nukem. Well, I mean it is made by 3D Realms, but recommend the Prey game. Very, very underrated in my opinion. Inversion. Funny enough, they just did that because I think the gimmick of this game is kind of like zero gravity. I think this is like kind of like a Gears of War clone. If I remember, I think speaking of Saber Interactive, great company. Even now, I think they did the new Warhammer. They're the ones who made the movement and stuff. Same for I can't remember. The World War Z series. That's also a great series. But Inversion, really cool. Hellboy. Science of Evil. This, I think, if I remember, it's a hack and slash as well. But I really like the Hellboy series. That's why I got it. Especially, The movie with Ron Perlman. That's the reason I got it. I just like the movie and the comic books as well. I think the aesthetic alone is really cool. Really, really cool. Oh, John Woo. Strangehold. Another underrated game in my opinion. If you guys like bullet time, stuff like that. And if you guys know John Woo, the movies, I'm sure you guys will appreciate this game. Recommend it. It is complete in box as well. Sorry if I don't open them. I mean, I'm just kind of showing y'all. I figured you guys would like to see them, more of the cover art more than the game itself, because I'm sure you guys know what the game looks like. Y'all know alone, I'm sure. Kingdom of Elmar, Reckoning. I hear this is a great series as well. I haven't played it. I think there is another ports of this now, unless if they just, it's backwards compatible, but people always prefer this one, I think. Oh, Ted McFarlane. I didn't know that. That's really cool. I mean, if you guys know Todd McFarlane, I mean, you guys definitely seen that name in figures or comic books alone. But I do hear this is a great series too, so recommend it, I guess. If everyone keeps recommending that to me, why not? Ooh, one of the best zombie games, Left 4 Dead. And I think this is also going up in value because you can't really play this anymore without, either owning it digitally off the store or a physical copy. And I think you can also play these on new gen if you have the, well, not, maybe it's Left 4 Dead 2, I can't remember. But I love the Left 4 Dead series. This is also a game that my buddy had I guess when I went to see him or visit him. I never knew the 360 was a thing because I didn't know much about systems at the time. Great, great series. I mean, you guys know the Left 4 Dead series. I think I only have this one because I do have Left 4 Dead 2 digitally. I love that game so much. I bought it digitally, and I can play it. I just downloaded it off my profile, and I can still play it on my Xbox Series X. Kenny Lynch. I love Kenny Lynch. It didn't really get love, I would say. Same for the second one. I'm a huge fan of like Michael Mann director, like Heat, the movie, or I'm a huge Grimdark fan. This is, I would say, a Grimdark series. I just love Grimdark. That's one reason why I like Warhammer as well. If you guys like Michael Mann or the movie Heat, Hitman, I think, Idos are the ones who made that. Recommend Kenny Lynch. I guess you would call that an ugly game. It's just, I like stuff like that. Legendary. Great, great soundtrack. Hugely underrated. It doesn't look good. I think it looks alright. I don't really care about graphics. I know people did, but this was more of a. It was a great gameplay game. It's not very long. I think you can beat it pretty quick. But I love Legendary. I thought it was a pretty cool game. My friend also had this. When I always bring it up, people don't know about this. I think this is a hugely underrated game. If I remember, the main menu theme song is badass. I'm not gonna lie, it's really really good. Recommend looking that up on YouTube. Oh, one of my favorite, I guess, space games. I think Capcom made this series, but this reminds me of home, the Midwest, just blizzard and just out in the middle of nowhere, breaking generators and keeping them warm. Because I think if I remember, you had to do this in Lost Planet to keep the thermites or the machines up enabling. This is what I used to do back home. But Lost Planet was another series that I got at the launch of the 360. When my mom bought us our first system, Launch Planet or Lost Planet was one of the series I remember playing a whole bunch. Beautiful, beautiful art designs too. Game play was alright. I think the second one's slightly better, but Lost Planet will always have a special place in my heart. They should bring it back. I wish Capcom would reboot the Lost Planet series. I think they could do it. They've been doing well with the Resident Evil one, so why not Lost Planet? Mayhem, kind of like a. I think this is kind of like, yeah, it's like derby racing, kind of like combat car, kind of like Twisted Metal. It's all black and white too, and I think when you kill things, it turns red. I mean, it's all like the whole aesthetic, pretty much. Recommend it. Pretty fun. If you get like car combat games, another great lost title by Rockstar, the Midnight Club series. You can still play this too, I think, on the backwards compatibility. I don't think you need the physical copies, or maybe you do, but great series. I wish Rockstar would bring back Midnight Club. There's a lot of series I think Rockstar needs to bring back. Blades, kind of like a hack and slash as well, if I remember. I don't have a CIB sadly, but another gooner, female protagonist, I would say. Sex sells, I guess you would say. Renaissance is Fae. If I remember, this game is also going up in value. Thankfully, I snagged all these games before they kind of spiked. And you're probably wondering, why do you get RPGs if you don't play it? Well, I used to play RPGs and I still appreciate them. And I always like to give money to, developers that take time and do things to support little teams. And even though I don't play the genre anymore, I still want to, appreciate the history. And especially, I will say this, RPG games and stuff like that always have really, really great soundtracks. And sometimes you can hear the soundtrack in the game. Like you can just go to the tab and they have like a playlist. I thought that's really interesting that they don't really do much anymore. Oh, Sonic, Sega All Stars with Banjo Kazooie. That's the reason I got it. And if I remember, oh yeah, you can also use your avatar. I miss the avatar era when you can use your own personal avatar character in the games. I wish Microsoft would still do that. They do it for some, but not a lot. Oh, one of the best hack and slash here, X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition. I think there's a new Wolverine game coming out soon. Supposedly that one's going to be rated M, but this one was, I remember, super bloody. Highly recommend it. There is a PS3 version as well, so don't worry, PS3 fans. I think the Xbox One may be a little bit more expensive because I think on PS3 you are still able to purchase stuff off the store. I wish we could still do that. That's one thing I would say PS3 does well, is stuff like that. This is a Naruto Resident Ninja. I think this was the only 360 exclusive for us. There was also a PS3 exclusive. I think each system had an exclusive for these kind of like campaigny Naruto games. I do like Naruto. I think the lore is pretty cool. And since this was an exclusive for us, I decided to snag it. This is 007 Legends. If I remember, you can play different scenes from each 007 movie. It's kind of like playing every... Well, speaking of, there it is. You can play like different chapters from, the iconic 007 games. That's the reason why I got it. And plus, I love 007. I'm sure if you guys are curious, I have a YouTube video with my 007 cars or 80s, Speaking of Gears of War, this is a limited collector's edition. I think my buddy gave me this because somebody brought it into their store and they couldn't sell it because it's just kind of old, and because it's on Game Pass, you don't have to pay for it. This just has like the art book and stuff. There's the hardest copy, I would say, but it's got the little book of the art design and stuff like that. I'm not gonna take it out because it is pretty heavy and it's kind of hard to put it back in here. Well, it's just gonna take too much time, I would say, but thankfully I did get somebody took it in and I was able to get it. Without Gears of War, I don't think I would have liked the Xbox, so that's the reason why I have the exclusive as well, the system. I still love the trilogy, and well, I guess the quad. I don't know how you would say the quad movies or the trilogy. I would throw in Judgment. I think it's a pretty good series as well. It just had minor problems. GoldenEye Reloaded. It's kind of like a reboot of the original GoldenEye. But I hear it's alright, I haven't played it yet. I just got it because you guys know I love 007. I hear it's decent too. Not as good as the other 007, but the original, I would say, is still iconic. Far Cry. Instincts Predator, I would say. If I remember, this is just like a reboot of the original. So it made visually it look better, I would say. A lot of people don't know about this Far Cry series, Thankfully I got it as well. I think I want to say it's just a reboot of the original. Avatar. The game. I think I haven't played it yet, but I know it's pretty good. It's kind of like you can make your own character and level up your character or your avatar, whatever the people are called. But James Cameron, obviously the director. Even though I do think the Marines are the good guys in this movie, I haven't seen the movie itself, but I do know about the movie. Tenchu Z. If I remember, this is kind of like a stealth gameplay. And you can see how the old shitty game store printer covers. It's not CIB. I do have the game. I know it's in here. It's just not the original case. But it's funny how some game stores. Yeah. Well, speaking of, that's how much it was when I bought it. I don't know how much it costs now. It's probably high up there too as well. Mini Ninjas, if I remember, it's like a fun hack and slash, little cutie cartoon characters. Really fun. I remember enjoying this with I was playing with my cousins. It was just a cute little game. It's really fun. It's actually pretty decent for what it is. For a kids game, it's not bad. Sadly, not CMB, but Ninja Blade from Software. You guys might know them from the whatchamacallit, Dark Souls or Elden Ring. I think this was also a hack and slash at the time. This was was it FromSoft or FromSoft, where it was they've been doing games for a while compared to what they're known for now, like Dark Souls. They did games on the PS2 and the original Xbox era. If you guys don't know, they've been doing games for a while, and now they do their own thing with their Dark Souls series and the Elden Ring or Bloodborne. I think is the other series they have. They really need to make another Bloodborne. Speaking of Bloodborne, Alpha Protocol. This is a cool spy RPG, and check it out, Obsidian. If you guys like New Vegas, that's the same. I think the people who made that. This is an RPG because it is perk systems, if I remember. Pretty underrated game. And Obsidian, obviously, you guys know they do pretty good when it comes to perks and classes and stuff like that. Recommend this Alpha Protocol game. Especially Obsidian, I think that's what makes the game even more, great. I think they're pretty good at doing stuff like that, like classes and perks, systems like that. Bully, I just had to get it. You guys know it. Great game. Doesn't need an introduction or a story. Everyone knows that. One of the best Call of Duties, in my opinion. Call of Duty World at War. Very, very, very bloody Call of Duty. Love the historical fiction. Love the combat. Love this is I would consider a grimdark game. One of the best Call of Duties, especially the soundtrack. That main menu theme song, man, it makes you so unease. But I guess this is when Call of Duty was about war. It's not beautiful, I would say that, but very, very, very beautiful game. Grimdark is my favorite genre, and this series will always have a special place in my heart just because of the Grimdark alone. PS3 and 360, recommend both. Get both if you're a collector. Lost Odyssey. This is a huge RPG game. This is one I don't think I'll ever be able to play. One thing that bothers me, this is how the 360 version is. You see how they kind of put all the discs there out. Oh, speaking of discs falling off, but they all are like cramped in this little slot here. That's and I haven't even taken them out because I don't want to scratch them. I really wish they did a version where they would have like the tabs. I don't know why they did this when they released it for us. See, that's one thing I would say 360 dropped the ball with, is like not making Blu-ray copies or putting them in like those little covers, like the slots. I don't know why they decided to do that. Maybe it was just the budget, but this is like clean, like I bought it. I think the original owner, like my buddy, I think I got it off a friend. He just opened it, played it a bit. He didn't like it, and I haven't played it. But this game, I know for a fact, is going to be super, super long. I think there's so many discs in this game. Something like a vacation. I think I'll be taking. The only way I can enjoy that is probably like a mini vacation. I would say, alone. Another popular RPG, Blue Dragon. Not a very good one. I think the one before is better. This one did have a little bit minor issues. If you guys know Akira Toriyama, I think he passed away. The guy who made Dragon Ball. I think that's the fella who passed away. This RPG is not that good, but it is going up there with value. I think that alone is why it's going in value, because I think this was kind of like one of the only RPG games that 360 have, because we didn't get a lot of them, and I think this was an exclusive for us. That's the reason why some RPGs are high in value for 360s, because it was the only ones we have for our systems. No, I mean Dead or Alive. You guys know this series. Obviously Tecmo, the Ninja Gaiden series people. Obviously, I do have the original Xbox. Maybe I will make an Xbox display game-wise one day, but you guys know the Dead or Alive series. There's no introduction, I would say, needed for that. Ooh, another great racing series, Juiced. Pretty really fun game, in my opinion. Especially the customization is pretty impressive. This is more of like bidding racing. It's not really like open world like Need for Speed or Midnight Club, but it's still a good racing game. Recommended, especially the PSP port. It's pretty good too. Here's Earth Defense Force. Another. This was our Helldivers before Helldivers or Lost Planet. I would say it's just kill bugs, big enemies, any aliens or whatever, etc. etc. I do like playing games. Ace Combat 6. I think Ace Combat also makes really great soundtracks for their games. If you guys like vehicle warfare with planes, I'd recommend the Ace Combat series. There's so many. I don't even know what to recommend when it comes to that. Ooh, I played this a couple of years ago for the first time. Alice Madness. Really great hack and slash. It's got platforming. I did hear the guy who made this was gonna make another. I think I did DLC or game, but you know how EA is, and they can't. He wasn't allowed to. Really great game. I did play that on. I think my Xbox One. It is backwards compatible. I think you need a disc. I don't remember, but I should play this next time on my 360 because I will say this: the Xbox One, when you put them in there, it does have that button delay. There was a button delay when I remember playing it, so maybe next time I'll play it on my 360. Aliens vs Predator, really great. Like you play as three different. You play as a Marine, the Alien, and the Predator. Kind of like the old PC game. This is kind of like their version of it, like our modern version of that old school PC version of Aliens. I can't remember what the other Aliens game, but I remember there was an old game back in the day that was the same style. Great game, recommend it. Looks beautiful too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I say, I think 360 and PS3 era still hold up in my opinion. Graphics really aren't anything. It's all about gameplay. I would say. Amped. If you guys like SSX, I think this was another launch title for our 360 here. I do like the SSX on tour. It's probably my favorite. Oh, another great series. Fear. I think I have all the Fear games here. I think this is like a DLC kind of part of this series. I don't know everything about the Fear lore. I do know I do like the original one a lot. The third one, not so much. The co-op was fun, but story-wise, it was just kind of a miss, sadly. That series is long gone as well. Rest in peace, Fear. Oh, one of the best sports games here. Blitz the League. Highly recommend. If you guys like Mortal Kombat, or if you want Mortal Kombat and sports put together, Blitz, I recommend, is a game you should play. You can break bones, you can break your nuts, you can break everything. You can take steroids. If you guys know the Blitz series, it's pretty much this is the last Blitz rated M game. Yeah, this game goes hard and recommend it if you guys. This is probably one of my favorite sports games. Ooh, another great underrated game, Blur. This is just Mario Kart with real cars. Because you can get like power ups, like when it's a turtle. I mean, speaking of, there's power ups. Great, they just use real cars, like real licensed cars. It looks really pretty too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, sometimes it's not. If you care about graphics, I would say it's fine in my opinion. I think all these games look amazing, even with since the newer systems like this generation 360 has the HDMI port, that I think it still looks great. Oh, beautiful. Katamari. I mean, if you know Katamari, you know the game. It's pretty old. This is just the Xbox. Our Xbox port, I would say. Damage Inc. Just a warfighter game. Speaking of, has a Tiger. You guys remember Tiger? The controls is literally shitty controls. I think this was an exclusive game from them. I think you got a controller through them or something in order to get this game. But I just like dogfighting games sometimes, and this is just one of them. It's got the cool, World War II planes. Ooh, Condemned, Criminal Origins. I think this was also a launch title. Very recommended if you guys like horror games. Recommend the Condemned, Criminal Origins. Beautiful game too. I think this is also part of the Fear series. This is canon, I think. It's kind of like the same universe. If you guys like Fear, recommend Condemned. This and the other one, the Blood. Well, speaking of Bloodshot, here's the other one. I think you can also play this on PS3. The other one, I don't think you can. I think that was our exclusive game at the time. But I think PS3 can also play the Blood Condemned 2. This is the second version of that. I remember playing a little bit of it, haven't completed it. I did complete the other one. I will say this. I think the first one is slightly better than this one. Then again, I haven't completed, so maybe I might beat it. Who knows? Dark Messiah in Magic. Haven't played it, but it is cool, interesting. You know, it looks like a RPG, it's hack and slash. I want to assume that's what this is. I don't know. Can't remember which one that one came from, to be honest. Ooh, speaking of the original Fear, here it is. First encounter Assault Recon, which is a funny, name for the Fear, but great series. Recommend the original Fear games. Beautiful. Man, the lighting in this game is amazing too. Like the darkness, like the lighting mechanism. Great visuals. Even for, I think this game came out in PS2 as well, if I remember. But this is just the Xbox 360 version, because I think this was also a launch title for us. Because I think this came out on PlayStation and then we got it pretty much. But great series. Recommend the first. I think anything besides before the 3. 3 was okay, but this is definitely the OG, the best in my opinion. Highly recommend it if you like horror games or shooters put together. Another 360 launch title, Gun. This was our Red Dead, I guess, at the time. Red Dead Redemption. Obviously, Red Dead Revolver was already out. Still another great game. But this is, I want to be honest, I want to say Gun is the reason why Red Dead Redemption, when it came out, I wouldn't doubt it if they got inspiration from this gun itself. Because this gun had a lot of, speaking of, there it is. Without this game, I doubt Red Dead Redemption would have been something like this, or the themes. Because man, this game had some themes for its time, But it's still a great game. Recommend the Gun. I wish they did a reboot, or at least, maybe just remaster it or something. Azura's Wrath, my bad. Another underrated Capcom game, in my opinion. This is like a button masher, kind of like God of War style, hack and slash, or beat 'em up style, like that. Beautiful game. Great soundtrack. Obviously, Capcom and Sega always make great music. Recommend it. This may one actually be going up in value too, so be careful if you're hunting for it. Just another Blitz the League. Same thing, just I think this was a one before. I think this is the second, if I remember. Ooh, another great hack and slash, Dante's Inferno. If you guys like God of War, this is kind of like the same style, God of War style. It's got the same playing mechanisms, like level upping. This literally is just God of War, just a different, theme, I would say. Great game. Clash of the Titans. It's decent. If you guys seen the movie, it's an old movie. This is like the reboot of that original movie. Still a okay game. I played it. It's not too bad. It's just fair. But I've never seen it, so I just decided to snag it. I'm sure this one will probably go up in value because it's just kind of hard to find, I would say. That's the only reason why it's probably up there. Ridge Racer. I think Ridge Racer is a pretty good racing series, because Ridge Racer has been out for a while. What's that one meme? Ridge Racer. You remember that one? That was a very funny, I guess, a Game Awards at the time. That guy, the one that was hosting it. But still, Ridge Racer is, it's a nice racing game. Why not? Why not snag it? Monster Madness. If you guys like party arcade games, this will definitely be that style. I think 360 had one of the best party game era, for multiplayer, for speaking of 4-player co-op. I think Xbox 360 did great with when it came to party games, Ooh, another great game. The Saboteur. Really fun game. Highly recommend it. Very underrated in my opinion. No one really talks about it much. Splinter Cell-esque, Hit Mini style. That's what I'd recommend. Sorry about that. My mom's dying. Alright, let's see. King of Fighters. Just another great fighting game. I don't think this one sold well, but it is, I do like fighting games, especially the music and fighting games. Especially King of Fighters. Really huge in Mexico. For some reason, King of Fighters is huge. Same for Gears of War. It's huge in Mexico. It's kind of funny seeing other countries have, like a higher fan base. Incredible Hulk. Another great hack and slash. I think this is probably one of the best. Not the best. I will say Ultimate Carnage is probably better on the other one before this. This is kind of like this era. Ultimate Carnage, I would say. I think it's called Ultimate Carnage, the other one. But this one's not as bad. It's still decent enough, you know. Velvet Assassin. I think this is a historical fiction based off the real lady that was doing this back in World War II. I think in real life she didn't make it. She passed away. She was killed. I think this is actually after based off her. I can't remember the lady's name. The real life hero. I think she was French. I think, but it's a real story. This is just kind of like inspiration by the real person itself. Not a great Turok game. This was kind of like a reboot. I will say this: the knifing and some of the mechanics were really cool. It wasn't obviously like Turok back in the Nintendo 64, PS2 era, but I didn't hate this Turok. I thought it was okay for what it was. It was trying to be like a Call of Duty or kind of Gears of War esque. This because it was popular at the time. I want to say that's why they were doing this. I know it didn't sell well. I do like Turok. I do like the original ones, like one, two. I can't remember what they're called, but obviously I think there's different names. Like obviously Turok Dinosaur Hunter, I think was the first one. Seeds of Evil, and I can't remember the third one. That one I know didn't sell well. I did remember liking Rage Wars, especially the soundtrack in Rage Wars was really great. Especially the second one. Turok Evolution was it was still good. It was still a decent Turok game. I think some of the gameplay was just a little odd. That's what made that game a little rough. But I do like the Turok series. I know they are rebooting the Turok series, so I'm really hyped for the new one. Also, Saber Interactive, I think, is doing the gameplay in that one too. So, oh, and I got both Transformers games, Fall of Cybertron and War of Cybertron. I think these games are going up in value, so good luck finding copies of these if you're gonna collect them physically. I want to see them because they are really good games, especially High Moon was killing it. Like I said, in this era, they were doing great games. I remember playing a little bit of this. I didn't complete it yet. I played quite a bit, but it was really great. It's amazing, and it's co-op too. It is co-op. So if you guys want to play a co-op game, recommend this Transformer game. Really great. Test Drive Ultimate. If you guys like the open world racing, I guess this would be considered open world. I don't think this one was as good, but it's still decent, you know. And I did like car games at the time. Yeah, this era, PS3 and PS 360 era, especially PS2 and original Xbox had great racing games. So if you're wondering why I have so many, it's just because I liked racing a lot back in the day. Here's Kenny Lynch 2. Dog Days didn't sell well, but like I guys told you, I love Grimdark. Love the series. They should reboot this series and give it a proper reboot and do it just proper. I think it would sell well. I love the Grimdark and snuff movies, stuff like this. You know, snuff era. Oh, the themes, I would say. But Grimdark is one of my favorite genres. That's why I like Gears of War as well. Just the Grimdarkness. Zoid's Assault. I think my buddy gave me this. It's some kind of RPG mech game. I think this game is also going up in value, and my buddy just gave me this because he knows I collect physical media. He used to work for a game store, and they were going out of business, so he saved me a whole bunch of games that he's like, hey man, save these because they might be worth something. And I think this one is actually worth something, but I'm not going to be selling this because my friend, when somebody gives me something, friend or you know, somebody randomly gave me something, I will always keep it because I guess because it kept me in mind. So it means a lot to me, I would say. Wolfenstein. I mean, this game needs no introduction. I really wish they would reboot this series. I wasn't really a fan of the new Bethesda Wolfenstein. It was okay, but I really wish, speaking of Raven, the great company, I think this Wolfenstein is the one they should have reboot when they were making Wolfenstein. Like I said, wasn't really a fan of the Bethesda Wolfenstein. Wish they did reboot something like that more. Wanted. Another cover shooter, I would say. A really great game. I think this was also in the launch title of the Xbox's life. The movie's also great too, obviously. The movie, if you guys haven't seen the movie, recommend the movie. It's based off the same thing, pretty much. Venetica. If I remember, this is also a hack and slash. And it's an RPG hack and slash, I would say. Haven't played it yet. I think I've seen videos of it though, but I think this game is also going up in value, so, you know, if you're looking for that, just good luck. Brave, A Warrior's Tale. Just a little family, kids game. This is like one of those great kid games you can play. It's just like a really fun little kid game too. For what it is, a little platformer if I remember. It's great. It's just fun. It's cheesy, I know, but still fun. Being the cheesy, fun little kid games, beat the Robinsons. I will say this era had really good movie games. Same for the Xbox or PS2 era. The movie games, they were still pretty decent in my opinion. Also, Meet the Robinsons is pretty underrated in my opinion. Ooh, one of my favorite series, Army of Two. I remember playing the original. I don't have the original copy yet, sadly, but this is one of my favorite series. I wish EA would do a proper reboot. I know it didn't end very well. I do like the original one still. Probably my favorite, but I still do appreciate Army of Two. Kind of a staple of why I liked um like co-op shooters. Man, this era, like I said, PS3 and 360 had great co-op era games. No introduction needed. Armored Core. Was it From Software also? I think yeah, it was From Software. They did the Armored Core series. Great series as well. And I think they did do a newer one a couple of years ago. It's still pretty popular, I would say. Lost Planet 3. Pretty underrated. I really like the mech combat in this game. The story was alright. I remember liking it. I think this is also backwards compatible, so I think it's also on Game Pass, so you don't have to buy it, don't worry. And it still looks pretty, I'm not gonna lie, it looks amazing. Pretty popular one here. The orange box still pretty valuable, believe it or not. I want to say because it's kind of like a 3-in-1. Well, speaking of Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Portal, and Team Fortress, sadly, I don't think, probably dead servers on Team TF2 because it's probably better on PC anyways because it's still playable. But it's got Portal and Half-Life as well. But it's kind of like a big feature. But still great games. Of course, Half-Life as well. Ooh. Not as I do like Burnout Paradise, but I still prefer Revenge. But still, Burnout Paradise is still a pretty decent racing game. Especially the soundtrack is great. They did remaster it, so I'd recommend just getting the newer version for PS4. I think has it as well. I think it's just called Burnout Paradise Remastered. To be honest, I just have that copy because it's just I like it as well. Is it Rain Vampire? Haven't played it, so you can tell it's got the Dollar General sticker. It's still sealed. Don't know if it's worth anything. If there's, I mean, usually they are. I think I actually have a couple. I don't remember the gameplay of this. I don't know if it's a strategy or RPG. I'll have to. I mean, I'm sure you guys can look it up yourselves, but there's that. It's still sealed in this thing. Speaking of another sealed game, Darkest of Days. I think this is kind of like Time Splitters, if I remember. Yeah, and it's still sealed. I haven't opened it. I think this game is going up in value just because of how hard it is to find this game, and I got it for $4.95. And I think this is just kind of like Time Splitters because you can go through different eras and stuff like that, like Rome and World War II. Kind of like speaking of the Civil War, but it's still sealed. I'm sure it's probably worth more since it's sealed. I have no clue. Please let me know. And the last one I have here, Full Auto. It's just another racing, twisted metal-esque Carmageddon style. This is our version of Full Auto. I think our exclusive. I think the PS3 also has their exclusive because you can't really play this Full Auto on the PS3. I think they have their own. I think they have the second one. We have the first one here. I think the PS3 Full Auto 2 is probably cheaper, if I remember. If you're wondering why sometimes PS3 360 games are more than PS3, it's just because maybe they just had more arcade features and it's just an exclusive, 360 the servers are down for like buying games. You can't do that. I want to say that's why the value on some 360 games are more compared to PS3 because on PS3 you can still access a store and buy stuff. Unless if they change that, I don't know. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much all my 360 stuff. And thanks for watching and see you guys tomorrow. I do have something special tomorrow. Some more accelerators coming, so be prepared for that. See you guys later.